Taylor Swift was being escorted out of her own concert venue by police officers who were convinced that the world's biggest pop star had become dangerously paranoid and was disrupting the final preparations for her sold-out show at SoFi Stadium. The 34-year-old superstar was pointing frantically at construction workers, questioning security protocols, and demanding additional background checks on venue staff, leading Los Angeles Police Chief Robert Martinez to publicly dismiss her concerns as typical celebrity paranoia and diva behavior that puts everyone at risk. But what Chief Martinez didn't know was that Taylor's security team had just uncovered credible evidence of an assassination plot targeting Federal Judge Patricia Williams, who was planning to attend the concert incognito with her teenage daughter, and that dismissing Taylor's warnings was about to put 70,000 innocent fans and a crucial federal judge in mortal danger. The day had started normally for Taylor Swift, who was conducting her routine final walkthrough of SoFi Stadium before that evening's performance, the third night of her record-breaking Los Angeles run. With 70,000 tickets sold and millions more watching the live stream, every detail had to be perfect. Taylor took these pre-show inspections seriously, having learned from years of experience that small problems could become major disasters when magnified by the scale of her productions. But as Taylor moved through the venue with her security chief Marcus Thompson, a former Secret Service agent who had protected 3 presidents, she began noticing irregularities that set off immediate alarm bells. Construction workers who weren't on the approved contractor list were installing equipment in sensitive areas near the stage. New staff members were wearing venue credentials but couldn't answer basic questions about their assignments. Most concerning, several individuals were taking photographs of security positions and emergency exits rather than focusing on their stated work. Marcus Thompson shared Taylor's growing unease about the unusual activity around the venue. "Taylor, something's not right here," he said quietly as they observed a group of workers installing what appeared to be lighting equipment in a location that had already been cleared by her production team. "These people aren't following normal protocols, and some of them are asking questions about tonight's VIP section that have nothing to do with their job assignments." Taylor's instincts, honed by years of dealing with security threats ranging from stalkers to terrorism concerns, told her that the irregularities they were observing weren't random mistakes or typical venue confusion. The pattern suggested coordination and planning that went far beyond normal concert preparation. "Marcus, I want background checks run on every single person who's been added to the staff list in the past 48 hours. Something about this feels deliberately wrong." As Taylor's security team began their enhanced screening process, they discovered several individuals whose credentials didn't match their stated employment history. More alarming, facial recognition software flagged 2 workers as having connections to extremist groups that had previously made threats against government officials. The discovery elevated what had been general unease into specific concern about a potential security threat to the venue and everyone inside it. Taylor immediately contacted venue management to express her concerns and request additional security measures, but her requests were met with frustration and resistance. "Ms. Swift, we've been hosting major events here for years without incident," venue manager Robert Klein told her dismissively. "Your security requirements are already far beyond what any other artist requests. We can't shut down normal operations because you're feeling nervous about ordinary maintenance work." Unsatisfied with the venue's response, Taylor decided to contact the Los Angeles Police Department directly to report her security concerns. She requested a meeting with someone in authority who could evaluate the potential threats and coordinate additional protection if necessary. What she didn't expect was that her request would be interpreted as celebrity demands for special treatment rather than genuine security concerns based on credible evidence. Police Chief Robert Martinez was in his office reviewing staffing assignments for that evening's concert security when he received Taylor's request for an emergency meeting. A 25-year veteran of the LAPD who had overseen security for countless celebrity events, Martinez had little patience for what he viewed as entitled celebrity behavior. "Another pop star who thinks every maintenance worker is a terrorist," he told his assistant. "Schedule 15 minutes, but make it clear we're not changing our security protocols because she's feeling paranoid." When Taylor arrived at police headquarters with Marcus Thompson and a folder of evidence documenting their security concerns, Chief Martinez was already predisposed to dismiss her claims. "Ms. Swift, I understand that high-profile celebrities face unique security challenges, but you can't expect us to treat every construction worker and venue employee as a potential terrorist. Your concerns seem to be based on speculation rather than credible evidence of actual threats." Taylor tried to present the evidence her team had gathered, the unverified workers, the suspicious photography, the individuals with extremist connections, but Chief Martinez interrupted her repeatedly, clearly more interested in ending the meeting than evaluating her concerns. "Ms. Swift, with respect, you're a singer, not a security professional. We have officers trained to identify real threats, and they haven't seen anything at SoFi Stadium that raises genuine concerns." "Chief Martinez," Taylor replied, her frustration growing at his dismissive attitude. "My security chief is a former Secret Service agent with 20 years of experience protecting presidents and heads of state. We're not amateur enthusiasts playing at security. We're professionals who have identified specific, documentable concerns about tomorrow night's event. I'm asking you to take these concerns seriously before someone gets hurt." But Chief Martinez was unmoved by Taylor's arguments. "Ms. Swift, I've been doing this job for 25 years, and I've seen dozens of celebrities who think every unusual situation is a conspiracy against them. What you're describing sounds like normal venue operations combined with celebrity paranoia. We're not going to disrupt the legitimate work of hundreds of people because you're feeling nervous about your concert." The meeting ended with Chief Martinez publicly stating to reporters that Taylor Swift's security concerns were unfounded celebrity paranoia, and that the LAPD would not be implementing any special measures beyond their standard concert security protocols. His dismissive comments were broadcast across news networks and social media, creating the impression that Taylor was being unreasonably demanding and interfering with normal venue operations. But Taylor wasn't deterred by the public criticism or Chief Martinez's refusal to take her concerns seriously. If local law enforcement wouldn't investigate the suspicious activity at her venue, she would use her own resources to determine whether a genuine threat existed. "Marcus, I want our team to conduct a complete independent security assessment. If we're wrong, we'll look foolish. But if we're right and do nothing, people could die." Marcus Thompson assembled Taylor's full security team, including former FBI agents, military specialists, and cybersecurity experts, to conduct the most thorough venue security assessment in concert history. Using advanced surveillance equipment, facial recognition technology, and criminal background databases that were more sophisticated than those available to local police, they began systematically investigating every suspicious individual and activity they had identified. Within 6 hours, Taylor's security team had uncovered evidence that transformed their general unease into specific, credible intelligence about a genuine threat. The individuals with extremist connections weren't random workers who happened to have questionable associations. They were part of a coordinated group that had been systematically infiltrating venue operations over the course of several weeks, positioning themselves to carry out an attack during Taylor's concert. But the target of the planned attack wasn't Taylor Swift herself. Hidden in encrypted communications intercepted by her cybersecurity team, the conspirators discussed their real objective: assassinating Federal Judge Patricia Williams, who had been secretly planning to attend the concert with her 16-year-old daughter Emma, who was a devoted Taylor Swift fan. Judge Williams had been receiving death threats for months due to her rulings in several high-profile cases involving domestic terrorism and organized crime. The discovery that a federal judge was the actual target of the assassination plot explained why local police had missed the threat entirely. They had been focused on protecting Taylor and her fans, not looking for a conspiracy against a federal official who had kept her attendance secret for security reasons. The conspirators had chosen Taylor's concert specifically because they knew Judge Williams would be attending, and because the chaos of a large event would provide cover for their escape. Marcus Thompson immediately contacted the FBI and U.S. Marshals Service to report the assassination plot against Judge Williams. Within minutes, federal agents were coordinating with Taylor's security team to verify the intelligence and develop a response plan. Ms. Swift, your team has uncovered a credible threat against a federal judge that we were completely unaware of, FBI agent Sarah Rodriguez told Taylor during an emergency briefing. This intelligence could save Judge Williams' life. But when federal agents contacted Chief Martinez to coordinate the response to the assassination plot, his reaction was skepticism and resentment rather than cooperation. Agent Rodriguez, you're telling me that Taylor Swift's security team discovered a federal assassination plot that my entire department missed? That's a pretty convenient way for a celebrity to justify her paranoid behavior and make my officers look incompetent. Agent Rodriguez tried to explain the seriousness of the threat and the quality of intelligence that Taylor's team had developed, but Chief Martinez remained convinced that federal agents were being manipulated by celebrity influence rather than responding to genuine evidence. I'm not going to shut down a major venue and disrupt thousands of people's plans because a pop star's private security guards think they've uncovered a conspiracy. The federal agents found themselves in the unprecedented position of having to work around local law enforcement rather than with them, coordinating directly with Taylor's security team to protect Judge Williams without alerting the conspirators that their plot had been discovered. The situation was made more complex by Chief Martinez's public statements dismissing the security concerns, which meant any obvious federal response might tip off the assassins that their target was aware of the threat. As the concert day arrived, Taylor faced an impossible decision. She could cancel the show and disappoint 70,000 fans while potentially alerting the conspirators that their plot had been discovered, allowing them to escape and try again later. Or she could proceed with the concert while federal agents and her security team worked to identify and neutralize the threats without causing panic among the audience. Taylor chose to proceed with the concert, but only after implementing security measures that went far beyond anything typically seen at entertainment events. Working with federal agents, her team positioned undercover officers throughout the venue, installed additional surveillance equipment, and created multiple contingency plans for protecting both Judge Williams and the general audience if the assassination attempt proceeded as planned. 2 hours before the show, Taylor's security team identified the specific plan for the assassination attempt. The conspirators intended to use the chaos of the concert's finale, when 70,000 fans would be screaming and moving toward the exits, to detonate a small explosive device in the VIP section where Judge Williams was seated. The explosion would be designed to look like a terrorist attack targeting the concert, providing cover for the judge's assassination while creating maximum fear and disruption. Federal agents, working with Taylor's security team, began quietly arresting the conspirators one by one throughout the afternoon, timing the arrests to avoid alerting other members of the group that their plot had been discovered. By showtime, 7 individuals had been taken into custody, along with explosive devices, weapons, and detailed plans for the assassination that confirmed every aspect of the intelligence Taylor's team had developed. As Taylor took the stage that evening, she knew that her insistence on enhanced security had prevented not just the assassination of a federal judge, but also a terrorist attack that would have killed and injured dozens of innocent concertgoers. The audience was completely unaware of the danger they had been in or the law enforcement operation that had been conducted around them throughout the day. Judge Patricia Williams, sitting in the VIP section with her daughter Emma, was also unaware that her life had been saved by Taylor Swift's paranoid security concerns. Federal agents had made the decision not to inform her about the threat until after the concert, allowing her to enjoy the experience with her daughter while remaining under discreet protection from multiple security teams. But Chief Martinez, monitoring the arrests from police headquarters, was beginning to realize the magnitude of his mistake in dismissing Taylor's security concerns. "Agent Rodriguez, are you telling me that Taylor Swift's security team prevented the assassination of a federal judge and a terrorist attack on 70,000 people while I was publicly calling her paranoid?" His question carried the weight of a career-defining error in judgment. The aftermath of the successful prevention of the assassination plot created a public relations nightmare for Chief Martinez and vindication for Taylor Swift. News reports detailed how the pop star's security team had uncovered and helped disrupt a federal assassination plot while local law enforcement dismissed her concerns as celebrity paranoia. The contrast between Taylor's professional, evidence-based security assessment and the police chief's dismissive response became a national story. In a press conference the following day, FBI agent Rodriguez publicly credited Taylor Swift's security team with preventing a catastrophic attack on both a federal official and thousands of innocent civilians. She noted that the quality of intelligence developed by Taylor's team exceeded that of many professional law enforcement agencies and had been essential to identifying and disrupting the conspiracy before any violence occurred. Chief Martinez was forced to hold his own press conference where he publicly apologized to Taylor Swift and acknowledged that his department had failed to properly investigate legitimate security concerns. Ms. Swift's security team demonstrated professionalism and expertise that exceeded our own response, he admitted. Their diligence saved lives, and my dismissive attitude toward their concerns was both inappropriate and dangerous. Judge Patricia Williams, once she learned about the assassination plot that had been planned against her, personally thanked Taylor Swift for the security measures that had saved her life. "Ms. Swift, your refusal to accept dismissive responses from law enforcement officials literally saved my life and my daughter's life. Your persistence in the face of criticism demonstrated real courage and civic responsibility." The 7 conspirators arrested in connection with the assassination plot were charged with federal terrorism offenses and conspiracy to assassinate a federal official. During their trials, prosecutors used evidence developed by Taylor's security team to demonstrate the sophistication and seriousness of the plot, resulting in lengthy prison sentences for all involved parties. The incident led to major reforms in how law enforcement agencies respond to security concerns raised by private citizens, regardless of their celebrity status. The case became a training example for police departments across the country about the importance of evaluating evidence rather than dismissing concerns based on assumptions about the source of the information. Taylor Swift used the media attention from the incident to advocate for better coordination between private security professionals and law enforcement agencies. This situation showed that protecting public safety requires collaboration between all available resources, she said in interviews. We can't let assumptions about celebrity behavior prevent us from taking genuine security concerns seriously. Chief Martinez ultimately resigned from his position 6 months after the incident, acknowledging that his handling of Taylor's security concerns had demonstrated poor judgment that could have resulted in tragedy. He was replaced by a new chief who implemented protocols requiring thorough investigation of all security reports regardless of their source or initial plausibility. The concert venue implemented new security protocols based on recommendations from Taylor's security team and federal law enforcement, creating a model for enhanced protection at large entertainment events. The reforms were adopted by venues across the country, improving security for millions of concert-goers and performers. Judge Patricia Williams continued her federal service with enhanced security protection, presiding over several additional high-profile cases involving domestic terrorism and organized crime. She frequently spoke about the importance of citizen vigilance in protecting democracy and the rule of law, citing Taylor Swift's actions as an example of how individuals can make crucial contributions to public safety. 6 months after the incident, Taylor Swift was invited to speak at a federal law enforcement conference about private sector contributions to national security. Her presentation, focusing on the importance of thorough investigation and interagency cooperation, was attended by hundreds of federal agents, police chiefs, and security professionals who wanted to learn from her team's successful disruption of the assassination plot. The relationship between Taylor's security team and federal law enforcement agencies was formalized through a consulting agreement that allowed her team to share intelligence about potential threats at entertainment venues across the country. The arrangement provided federal agencies with access to sophisticated private sector resources while giving Taylor's team official channels for reporting security concerns. Marcus Thompson, Taylor's security chief, was offered positions with several federal agencies following his team's success in identifying and disrupting the assassination plot. He chose to remain with Taylor's security team but began teaching courses at the FBI Academy about integrating private sector security capabilities with federal law enforcement operations. 1 year after the incident, Chief Martinez's replacement invited Taylor Swift to participate in a public ceremony honoring her contributions to public safety and law enforcement. The event, held at SoFi Stadium where the assassination plot had been disrupted, brought together federal agents, local police, and venue security professionals to recognize the importance of collaboration in protecting public safety. For Taylor Swift, the experience reinforced her belief that celebrity status comes with responsibilities that extend far beyond entertainment. When you have resources and influence, you have an obligation to use them to protect others, she reflected. I'd rather be called paranoid for investigating potential threats than stay silent and risk people getting hurt. Today, the case of Taylor Swift versus the dismissive police chief is studied in law enforcement academies as an example of how assumptions about celebrity behavior can interfere with legitimate security concerns. It serves as a reminder that effective law enforcement requires evaluating evidence rather than sources, and that sometimes the most important intelligence comes from unexpected places. The story of how Taylor Swift's paranoid fears prevented a federal judge's assassination and saved thousands of innocent lives has become a powerful reminder that in our complex security environment, protecting public safety requires contributions from all available resources. Sometimes being willing to look paranoid is the price of being a hero, and sometimes the difference between tragedy and safety comes down to one person's refusal to accept dismissive responses when lives are at stake.